to warn you and we tried to help, but they denied the prophets and ain't apply the steps. They denied the Christ and could deny they self. I don't play games, I'm a grown man. On the road to greatness in my own lane. Killed the old me, changed my whole name. Call that born again in my old age. They don't get it, man. Wish they understand. A lot of folks gonna die when Christ come again. No, they don't believe if they don't keep commands. In the faith of Christ, as the scripture says. Ain't a game, boy, this is life or death. Straight and narrow path, ain't no right or left. When you face God, you gon' be by yourself to get eternal life, but no pain after death.
Man, I keep these laws in the faith in Christ. Play no games. Put fringes on clothes, I don't roll no dice. Play no games. My lamp never high because I show my light. Play no, I don't play no games. No, I don't play, no, I don't play. 600 laws, no, I don't play. I keep them all, I'm not insane. If you don't keep, you die in flames. You die in flames. This not a game. To save your soul, we teach plain. You call us flames. This not a game. Yeah, we be the prophets in purple and gold. Fishes of men, we just trying to save souls. War in the spirit, we know what to go. Highways and byways, we know where to go. Man, I keep these laws in the faith in Christ. Play no games. Put fringes on clothes, I don't roll no dice. Play no my lamp never high because I show my light. Play no, I don't play no games.
Talk to 'em. I don't play games, no, this is not a joke. When we out at the camp and we holding a post, or even on day-to-day basis, you know that there is no time to be complacent. You know that we serious, look at our faces, or check our demeanor. You cannot replace us, we out in these places, delivering statements. Some of y'all love us, but most of y'all hate us. I know we was brothers, must be mistaken. No need to flex, I can see through your faking. Taking the kingdom, we patiently waiting. I know that you thought that he had forsaken, but he was just waiting for us to awaken. And now that we waking, the earth will be shaking. That dragon is rough and that dragon is Satan. It's time to wake up, Israel, time to stop playing. Time to stop playing.
Man, I keep these laws in the faith in Christ. Play no games. Put fringes on clothes, I don't roll no dice. Play no games. My lamp never high because I show my light. Play no, I don't play no games. Play no games. Play no games. Play no, I don't play no games.
Is this a microphone?
Gonna be in the book of Nahum.
Why would I be on that? Why am I doing that?
For the bookmark.
I don't think so.
This is Psalms 132, right?
Psalm 139. Where the music at, Ed? I ain't killed the music.
You killed the music and got them just staring at
Alright, cool.
I'm looking through it.
That's cool. We'll get started. Don't even worry about it. Ready? Alright, cool. Hey, Shalom family, Most High Christ bless. Happy everyone's here. Got my water and my coffee here. We're gonna send up prayers and we'll get rolling. It's 5:11, so I had a lot to say. You know what I mean? So let's get going. Men of Israel, blow trumpet. Father God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we thank you for today. We thank you for bringing us together. We thank you for your word. We thank you for the opportunity to read your word and to learn from your word, Lord. Please guide us throughout our day. Please guide all those that are moving to and fro, moving to work, those that getting their day started. Please let this word be edifying and helpful to them throughout life, Lord. May the whole congregation say hallelujah.
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 In Christ's name we pray. Amen. All right, family, shalom, shalom, Most High Christ, bless. Like I said again, can y'all hear me? As it comments off his?
For some reason, they don't pop up
Till later.
Yeah, but I got it open right here.
Somebody text me. What was that? Oh, you just text me. That's Jetty Yellow. Let me know if they can hear me, Jetty Yellow, please. Can you check that out for me? To my left here, I have Officer Jediel, right? You want to go ahead, Jediel? Go ahead, say something.
Hey, shalom, yo. Most High Christ bless.
Sign Christ bless you. Then to my right, I have Officer, fresh officer. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Officer Abdon.
Shalom. Most High Christ bless.
All right, so you gotta like get in the mic.
You gotta push
You
that.
gotta,
Get in there.
you gotta talk loud so they can hear you reading.
Test. Can you hear me?
You gotta get in there good, man. Don't be smooth with it right now. You gotta
Yes, sir.
get rough.
Yes, sir.
Use a little bit of the campness. All right, so today, family, we're gonna talk about perfect hatred. It's funny, man. We was out at camp this week. You didn't even come. We was out at camp, and it was a brother. He drove by the camp, and he saw us. You know what I'm saying? And then he went in the store, did whatever he had to do. Then he said he made a U when he came back around because he had got a flyer before, and he had questions. You know what I'm saying? So he came. He was standing, behind the camp. Sometimes people don't like to come up to the camp, so he was standing back behind the camp. And he said, I was talking to this other Israelite group, but all they want to talk about is that I got to hate other nations. Like, I got to hate them. Like, he was like, that's all we got to talk. That's all they wanted to talk about. That's how we got to hate the other nations. And he was like, what say you? Do we got to hate, so-called Caucasians, so-called Moabites? I mean, well, they are the Moabites. Ammonites. The Arabs, do we gotta hate all these other nations? And he said that was the focal point of what these other Israelites was teaching him. So I want to talk about that, perfecting our hatred. Let's start at Psalms chapter 139 and verse 21. Psalms 139, we'll do verse 21 first.
The book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 21.
I think you're going to have to be louder.
The book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 21.
Thank you.
Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?
Here it come.
I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies.
So he say, I hate them with perfect hatred. Did they say they can hear us? Did you check? They can hear me? Okay, cool. So, look, this is David talking right here. He said, I hate them with perfect hatred. What does that look like? What does that look like? What does perfect hatred look like? It's interesting, too, because now thinking about this, David wrote this, right? Remember, David was ran out of the city by Saul, and he had to go fight with the Philistines. Yeah, he had to go fight on their side for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But he said, look, I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. How could he say that? But he over there behind enemy lines sometimes. Let's look at it. Let's go to Romans. What does perfect hatred look like? A lot of times, we don't know how to properly hate. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know how to properly love. So we don't know how to do that. We don't know how to do one or the other. We don't know how to do either one. We always getting confused with this emotional thing. It's not what it is. It's not what it is. And as you go to and fro, right, as you move in and out of your work environment or whatever different environment you go through, you tend to kind of create toxic work environments or toxic relationships between people. How does that happen? Why does that keep happening? Is it because you know the scriptures and everybody just hates you? Or you have not perfected what your hatred should look like? Let's go to Romans chapter 9. Let's look at we'll start at verse 6. We'll start at verse 6.
The book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 6.
Yeah.
Not as though the word of God have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel.
Yep.
Neither, because they are the seed of Abraham, are they all children. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
So it say, look, these other nations, right? These are not the children of God. All right, Facebook, I got a question for y'all. Where would I go to identify who are the children of the flesh? Where do I go? Anybody got a clue? Where do we go? What they saying? Why it don't work over here? Come on, Israel. Where do I find that? Who are the children of the flesh? Have me a sip of coffee waiting on y'all. Any clue? I know Adam on there. Adam on there? Yeah. Adam, make sure you scribe it if you ain't driving or somebody.
Nah, Solomon got you.
Solomon got me? Good looking, Solomon.
Somebody say Galatians 4.
Galatians 4 and what?
And then need a verse.
Galatians 4. All right, they ain't put no verse, so I guess we'll guess what they mean. We'll go to Galatians 4.
Somebody say
Obadiah. They not putting no verses. They just putting
the chapters.
putting
Or the whole book.
the whole book. So I'm sure they meant Galatians 4 and I think we read this the other day. What is it?
Like 20.
4 and 22, I think it is.
So it's the end of the chapter.
Galatians 4. Yeah, read 4, 22 and 23. Who put that answer?
Issachar, Israel.
Issachar, Israel. Wrong answer. But we're going to read it anyway.
Galatians 4.
Yeah, 22 and 23.
The book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse 22.
Yeah.
For it is written that Abraham had two sons,
So Issachar.
the one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise.
So it say that he was born after the flesh. So the reason why Issachar went there, shout out to Tijuana. I'll see you this weekend, bro. That is not enough. That's not enough. Let's go to this. Go to Genesis chapter 17. Watch this. I'm going to tell you why that's not. Because that would make Abraham the father of two nations. Is that accurate? Let's go to Genesis chapter 17, verse 4. See, you set it up. You set it up. Issachar, you didn't even know you set it up for me. Genesis 17, we'll read verse 4.
The book of Genesis, chapter 17 and verse 4. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
What are you saying?
A father of many
A
nations.
father of two nations.
A father of many nations.
So it say Abraham is the father of many nations. So that only shows us that he's a father of two nations, which is not accurate enough. What else I got? Somebody said Obadiah. Adam, if Solomon got it, you ain't got to start scribing. I appreciate you, though. You just make all the good comments for us. I appreciate it. Come on, Israel, any clue? Genesis 16:1. That sounds like a no. No, sis. Who put that? Who put Genesis 16:1? Abigail. Abigail, nah, sis, that's not right. All right, Genesis 16:1 is not right. Again, that's going back to two nations. He is not the father of two nations. And say he's the father. Read that scripture again, Genesis 17:4.
Genesis chapter 17 and verse 4.
Yeah.
As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
Father of many nations. Keep going.
Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee.
You see that? He said it twice. Father of many nations. Father of many nations. Now where they got me going? 2nd Ezra 6:4. Romans 9:8. No. We'll be here all day. All right, go to 1 Chronicles. 1 Chronicles. Let's read verse 28.
The book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 28. Chapter 1, verse 28.
Yeah.
The sons of Abraham.
So I meant to say 1 Chronicles, chapter 1. We're going to start at verse 28. All right? Go ahead.
The book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 1, verse 28.
Make sure you speak up, please.
The sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael.
See, there go those two nations I was talking about. Go ahead.
These are their generations.
Yes.
The firstborn of Ishmael. Naboth.
That's the Nabateans, right? That's another nation. The Nabateans is a nation that was created from Ishmael. Go ahead.
Then Kedar.
Kedar, that's the Kadesh tribe. That's the tribe that Muhammad came out of. That's a dark-skinned Arab people, right? He say, I am, dark like the sons of Kadesh. Right? This is what it's on. Like the tents of Kedar. Oh, that's what it's saying. Oh, yeah. So there you go. See, that's another one. Go ahead.
And Adbil.
Yep.
And Medshan.
Yep.
And Shema. And Duma. And Duma.
Yep.
Massa. Hadad. Tamah.
Mm-hmm.
Jetur. Nephish. And Kedama.
Here we go.
These are the sons of Ishmael.
So even out of Ishmael, right, some other groups of people came out of them. Here it comes. Now watch this.
Now the sons of
Keturah. So these are the sons of Keturah, right? So after Sarah died, right, Abraham took another woman named Keturah. Let's see what happened.
Now the sons of Keturah, Abraham's concubine.
Yes.
Shabar.
She bare
Zimran.
That's another nation. Go ahead.
And Jokshan.
Yes.
And Median.
Yes.
And Midian.
Yes.
And Ishbak.
Okay.
And Shuha. And the sons of Joshan.
That was it. So as you can see, right, Abraham was the father of 6 other sons besides Isaac and Ishmael. So he had a total of 8 boys. He had 8 boys, and they all became fathers of nations. And even amongst those, in between those nations, amongst those was great tribes, great people, you know what I'm saying, that led nations, you know what I'm saying? So people like the Nabateans and the Kadesh specifically, they got a lot of history, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of history that you can look into. So let's go back to Romans 9. I think we was at verse 7.
Romans chapter 9 and verse 7.
Yeah.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh.
So them other 7 boys that Abraham had, the children of the flesh, go ahead.
These are not the children of God.
Those are not the children of God. Go ahead.
But the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
So because they're not the children of God, right? It's a lot of nations we dealing with, right? And y'all brothers, y'all sisters have hatred towards them, but the hatred is not perfected. Come on.
For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, but the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that called.
So the purpose of God has to be fulfilled, right? He made Abraham a promise. He said, look, you're going to be the father of many nations. So these people that we deal with, these people we go through life with, God put them here. God put them here. Uh-oh. What the hell, Bobby? Is it gone or no? Connect your live stream. I'm good? Can everybody hear me still? Let me know if y'all can hear me. It's still on? Y'all with me? Okay, I got a thumbs up. All right, where I'm at? Where we was at?
Verse 11.
Verse 11. Okay, read that.
For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
So it see right there again, it say the elder shall serve the younger. Right? So Rebecca knew that. Rebecca knew that. But the thing is, a lot of times with Israel, it don't seem like we know that. We confused on that thing. We want to be mad right now. It tell you the elder will serve the younger. Might not be today. Might not be tomorrow. But it's going to happen. Come on.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
There we go right there. See, there go that hate word again. See, God hate them people. So I need to walk around all day pissed off, mad. Hating. Hate. Let's go to Malachi. We'll go to Malachi. Chapter 1. Read it again. We'll start at verse 1.
Malachi, chapter 1, verse 1.
Come on.
The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi.
Yeah.
I have loved you, saith the Lord.
Yep.
Yet ye say, wherein have thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob and hated Esau, and laid his mountain and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Yeah. That's what I want. All right. So, let's look at verse 2 one more time. Watch this, Israel.
I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
That's the problem right there. See, we don't understand love and hate. Malachi at this point is confused. He like, how you going to say you love us, Lord? It don't feel like love. In our mind, we can't determine what love looks like. Therefore, we can't determine how to properly perfect our hate neither. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying, how you going to say you love us? When you look at Israel, right, they have been through many captivities. They have been through captivity of Babylon, captivity of the Persians and the Medes and the Assyrians. Who else we got? The Greeks, the Romans, right? All these different things. And even before that, right, you got Egypt. You got, what we went through during the Book of Judges. They was in captivity all through Judges, just getting it. You know what I'm saying? So, let's read it again.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein have I loved? wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
So he say, how you gonna say you love us, but it feel like you hate us? All this captivity, all this punishment we go through, it feels like hate. Let's go to that one. What we was looking at the other day, second Ezra's. Feel free to jump in, JDL. You got something, man. I get to going. Second Ezra's chapter 3. Because this is what we want to do. Right? This is what Malachi was doing right here. Second Ezra's chapter 3. Because Ezra did the same thing. We'll start at verse 24.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 24.
No. That's still talking about David. Okay, read 25.
Verse 25.
Yes.
When this was done many years, then they that inhabited the city forsook it.
So it's talking about after David had built the city. David and Solomon at that time. Go ahead.
And in all things did even as Adam and all his generations had done. For they also had a wicked heart.
Yes.
And so thou gavest thy city over into the hands of thy enemies. Are their deeds then any better that inhabited Babylon? That they should therefore have the dominion over Zion?
You see that? So Ezra is like, look, man, is the Babylonians better than us? Why you take us out of the city and put the Babylonians in there? You hate us. You gonna say you love us, but you took us out and put the Babylonians in. How you gonna say you love us? Let's keep going.
For when I came thither and had seen impieties without number.
Yep, a lot of sin. Yep.
Then my soul saw many evildoers in this 13th year, so that my heart failed me.
So he said, look, I went back to Babylon. I seen all the people there. They sinning like crazy. Go ahead.
For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning.
Read that again.
For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning.
So he's like, I see how you allow them to sin. That's what Ezra's saying. Look, they sinning over there. Go ahead.
And has spared wicked doers. And has destroyed thy people.
You let the wicked doers do whatever they want to do, but your people that you say you love, Lord, you destroy them. Go ahead.
And has preserved thy enemies, and has not signified it. I did not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion?
So he's asking the same question that Malachi is asking. How you gonna say you love us, but these other nations, they just doing what they want to do? They ain't having no problem. They just do whatever. Come on.
Or is there any other people that knoweth thee beside Israel? Or what generation had so believed thy covenants as Jacob?
Yeah.
And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor hath no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments.
Look, he said, look, these other nations, right, they got all the money in the world, but they not keeping the commandments. But you telling us that you love us, and if we do this and do that, we should be good. We'll be taken care of. But they wealthy, and they not doing nothing you said to do. Come on.
Weigh thou therefore our wickedness.
Read that again.
Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
So Ezra is saying, look, take what we do that's wicked and compare it to what the other nations do as wicked, and see which one doing more wicked. And it's obvious the other nations are doing way more wicked than us. Way more. You know what I'm saying? But he say he love us. We the ones that's in captivity. You know what I'm saying? These Chinese people ain't in captivity. These Edomites ain't in captivity. These Arabs, nobody else is going through the oppression and the slavery in which we've been through. But he say he love us. Read that again. Weigh.
Weigh. Verse 34.
Yeah.
Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
Yeah.
Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments?
Yep.
Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
So look, he's asking the same question. Why do they get off scot-free? They constantly sinning, but you say you love us, but we go through all this oppression and captivity. Feel like hate. Feel like the Lord hate us. Go back to Malachi again. Start at 2.
Malachi chapter 1 and verse 2.
Yep.
I have loved you, saith the Lord.
You see that? Ezra is confused because the Lord said, I love you. Go ahead.
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord?
See that? He's like, look, man, how you gonna say you love us and these Greeks is ruling, these Persians is ruling, these Babylonians is ruling? How you gonna say you love us? Let's go to it. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12. We'll start at verse 5.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 5.
Yeah.
And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children.
Yep.
My son, despise not thou thy chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked.
You see that? We're not supposed to despise the chastening. We're not supposed to despise that thing. Why? Come on.
For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he received.
Yes.
If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards.
Then are you what?
Then are ye bastards.
Yes.
And not sons.
Yes. So again, the Lord said who he loved, this is how he expresses his love for his children, by chastising them. Keep going.
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? And live.
See, if we in subjection to the Father of spirits, we live. So again, I said this Sabbath, right? You gotta understand, right? When I was a kid, right? My mom, right? She would be like, go get the switch, go get the belt, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I had to go get the thing, come in there, get my little whooping. And then after the whooping, my mom would pick me up and hug me and kiss me. And I'm crying, I'm boo-hooing, like, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? But she hugging me and kissing me, telling me she do it because she loved me. And it made no sense in my head as a child. I'm like, this doesn't feel like love at all. This feels like abuse, mother. What the heck is wrong with you? You got something else?
When you had said it, Sabbath, I was like, shoot, I wish. You know what I'm saying?
You wish. She just whooped you and said, go in there.
Get whooped and go to bed. You
go
know what
to
I'm saying?
bed.
Lay down. You know what I'm saying? That was it. So I'm like, at least you understood why I was happening.
I didn't. I still didn't understand. It didn't make it no better. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make it no better. No, it did not. My mom, man, she was, she wasn't keeping the commandments, but she read the scriptures all the time, smoked weed, right? So, that's how she did it. That's how she got connected spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she had the, now she wasn't a roster, but she had the seeds and stems all in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You turn in the Bible with stuff all coming out. The Bible smelled like outdoor. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, in her head, she was like, you're not supposed to go to sleep angry. You know what I'm saying? So she would always try to calm me down after I would get a whooping. You know what I'm saying? So she had like a few precepts in her head, man. She was trying. She was trying. She didn't know what she was doing. But anyway, yeah. After she would whoop me, she would pick me up and hug me and tell me she do it because she loved me, and it just never made sense until I became a father, and then I do it to my kids. You know what I'm saying? They be like, man, this don't feel like love. But again, the reason why this is love, right? I ask y'all, Israel, why is that love? Why is, what does it say? Verse 7 or verse 6, where it says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chastises and scourges every son whom he receiveth. Why is that love and not hate? Why? Hands, I wish I could see the comments.
Me too. Nah, it usually be something right here where I can just click and the comments come up, but it ain't even there.
What's the little 3 dots up there?
I already tried that.
Already tried that. Oh, no. What they saying, Didier? Why is that love and not hate? Why? What they say? James Judah said to teach us a lesson. Okay. I want more. To teach us a lesson. What meaneth thou? A child with no fear will be self-willed. Okay. Because it's correcting you to be perfect and obedience. Okay. All right. None of that's bad. Punishment makes you not do the bad thing again. Discipline keeps you on the right track because you want your children to know the difference between right and wrong and growing up with strong morals. Because you're correcting them. Pit makes you better because food is bound for the child. They giving me precepts too. What they say, correction is love. Without it, you don't know when you're wrong. All right, again. So all of that's good, right? So this is the point. This is the point. All right, when you going out into the world, right? You are not always next to your father and mother. You know what I'm saying? So you correct that child early, so when they go out into the world, they have what's called self-discipline, self-governance. They're not going to be out acting a fool when you're not standing right next to them because you have trained them to be upright and outstanding and keeping the commandments of God early. When you're not with them, they got to have that fear in the back of their head. Oh, shoot, I better do the right thing or I'm going to get a whooping when I get home. You know what I'm saying? And then my mama going to hug me afterwards. But, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It's either you're going to fear your parents or you're going to fear the police and your teachers.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So if your parents...
Make sure you speak up too. You're doing the same thing.
If your parents feel like you don't fear them, or if they don't put that fear in you, you'll go out and you'll disobey your teachers or you'll disobey those people that are in authority because at home you never got checked and told, hey, you need to follow authority. So that's how that pattern happens, right? So the Lord, he understands that. He understands at home you need to understand authority and power and fear me. And then from there, he can let you go out into the world. But if you don't fear him, you're going to go off with everybody else.
Yep. Well, that's why our kingdom was taken from us. Right. We had too much power in our youth. We didn't know how to govern ourselves. We out there acting a fool. Right. Solomon with 1,000 women and stuff, man. Like, bro, get a grip. Right. Jeez, no self-control. Brother, he didn't get chastised. He had no self-control.
But he only ruled for 40 years and he had 1,000.
The 40 years, only 40. Only 40, brother? Have you read the Book of Kings? That's a long time.
That's a long time for something.
40, he was getting it in.
Bro, it's only 365-ish days in right.
If you would have gave him another 40, it'd have been 2,000.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? You got one ride in 300 days.
Oh, man. Yeah, he only got 300 days in a year. How he getting all that in? Woo! What they be having nowadays, they be going to counseling for it, sex addiction. Yeah, that's what the heck Solomon was doing, man.
He ain't had nothing to do.
He needed to be chastised.
He did some work.
Let's go back. So we can see what love look like, right? So love looks like chastising, right? Love looks like correction, right? So what does hate look like? Let's go back to Romans 9 again. Or matter of fact, go back to Malachi. He needed 3 years saying hello to each other. You think he was saying hello? I don't know if he was saying hello. He was doing some more than talking.
Like, you come here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, looking through a catalog. You know which one. How you even know which one is your wife? 1,000 women? I be in the school, I can't remember half the sister's name in the school.
You just walking around picking new ones, like, I think she my wife. Come on.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
If you ain't, you about to be.
You about to be. Right. True.
Let's go to Malachi. You know, you read about things like dudes like Wilt Chamberlain. You know what I'm saying? And he say stuff like that, man. Like, yeah, I had sex with 10,000 or 15,000 women. Something crazy he said. Like, how you do that? How Wilt Chamberlain do that, man? Crazy numbers, man. Crazy. Malachi chapter 1, verse 2. Come on.
The book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 2.
Yeah.
I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I love Jacob.
I love Jacob. How did he love Jacob? By chastising them. Go ahead.
And I hated Esau.
He hated Esau. Let's see. Go ahead.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
So he said, I hated Esau. And attached to that hatred, you can see, right? He says, and laid his mountain and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. So he said, look, that thing, I'm going to lay that thing flat. That's the hatred for them. You know what I'm saying? It's a specific amount of power attached to that hatred. You see what I'm saying? We don't have no power. So we can't fully apply the level of hatred in which we want to. Everything we got is just emotion right now. You just walk around mad, creating this toxic work environment. I don't like these people. I hate these Edomites. That's fine. Go ahead, Jimmy.
I want, can you give me one? Psalms 73, start from verse 2. Actually, go here first. Go to Proverbs 3:31. Because this is what I'm thinking about, right? When we just looking at Malachi, we're looking at understanding chastisement. This is where it starts, right? A lot of times, this is what goes on in our head. So then we'll read Psalms. It'll be an example of this.
Can y'all hear JDL? I feel like you're not loud enough.
Speak up. All right, go ahead. Grab it.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
So envy thou not the oppressor, right? A lot of times what happens is we get in this place where we envy our oppressor, not understanding that they're in this position because the Lord is doing something that he has the power to do, and he has the power to take them down. But we look at it like, well, they're better than us because they're in this position. And that's what runs through our mind. And then envy kicks in, right? So we're going to read in Psalms an example of that envy, right? Even Malachi. Malachi was like, how do you love us?
Yep.
Right? That's envy. Envy is kicking.
Ezra,
right?
Same thing. Why them compared to us? Why they get all free? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's how Ezra was talking.
Right. So you almost like a covetous little child, right? Like you see something that they got, you want it, right? So that spirit started to kick in. So Psalms 73 and 2.
The book of Psalms.
So this is a psalm of Asaph, right? He's talking about envying his oppressor pretty much, right? Start from verse 2.
The book of Psalms, chapter 73 and verse 2. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
So he saw what the wicked had, right? And he started to get covetous and envious, saying, you know, well, how did they get this thing? And I'm not getting these things, right? So you gotta look at that, right, and understand that the Lord put them in that position because he knows what he's gonna do. He's gonna destroy them. But in this time, Asaph was jealous, right? He looked at that thing and he got envious. Keep reading.
For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. So now, right, that pride comes on them. You see them say things like, make America great again, right? Or what's it called? Slavery is a choice, right? Men say things like that, right? Or run with Donald Trump.
They say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Right, things like that. So what happens is that pride starts to come on them and they feel like they're in that position because they put themselves there. And we know they're not. Right? Keep reading.
Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish.
They have more than their heart could wish, right? Like, for example, my manager's off right now for a month working half days because she's getting her house renovated, right? But she's still working, but she's gonna work half a day every day because she's getting the bathroom redone. These are not things that are necessary. You follow what I'm saying? But for us, right, we at work every single day, right? So these things cause you to get in a place where you can become envious, so you're oppressive.
They gonna be like, look, nigga, what does the policy say?
Right, exactly. You ain't gonna be up to renovate your bathroom.
Nah. That's not according to the instruction in which we grant off days.
Exactly.
Yeah, but for your boss, they got it. Go ahead.
Cap, I be at work like the Sons of Thunder. Can we just destroy this place? Can this place just blow up right now? Bro, man.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
Give me verse 8.
Verse 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully.
What that's saying is they treat your slavery like it's nothing, right? They speak about it like you're not oppressed, right? Black people have jobs. Donald Trump has raised the unemployment rate. These are the things that they say. They speak loftily concerning oppression, right? Keep reading.
They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people returneth hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them.
All right, jump down. We're going to jump to verse 14.
Verse 14. For all the day long have I plagued and chastened every morning.
So he was being chastened ASAP. So that's the point you got to see. The Lord's chastening you because he loves you, right? Keep reading.
If I say I will speak thus, behold, I shall offend against the generation of thy children.
For us to be in this mindset, we offend the people that are coming after us because we teach them that it's okay to envy their oppressor or to be envious or to be in this covetous way. We got to realize it's the wrong thing, right? Keep reading.
When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me.
It was painful. It's painful for us to accept that we have the wrong set of hatred. It's painful for people to accept that. But you got to understand the Lord is doing this for a reason, right? Read the next verse. So that's what I want.
Verse 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understood I their end.
So you all, right, as we going through this, y'all have to understand the end for our enemies, right? Although they set up in these positions or they speak loftily concerning oppression or they can take a month off to renovate their bathroom, you got to understand the end for them. That bathroom going to get blown up and everything in it.
Can we take a time out? I got to highlight that.
Oh, man. Time out. Let's go to this. Read for me, Jenny. Go ahead, highlight. Go to Luke chapter 16. Go to Malachi again. One more. Romans. Go to Romans. Romans 9. He said, take a time out.
I'm back, sir. I'm back.
You back. Romans 9. Watch the replay, man. Romans 9. Let's read verse 11, 12, and 13. Go ahead.
The book of Romans chapter 9, verse 11.
Yeah.
For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
So you got to understand, it's a purpose being fulfilled, right? It's a purpose. The purpose of the perfecting of the saints, right? And the destruction of the wicked. That's the purpose of all this. Watch, go ahead.
It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
It might not be today, right? Right now, you serving the elder. Right now, that's what's happening. Right now, you at work and you are serving the elder. You serving those other nations. That is what's happening. Go ahead.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Hated. All right, go to Luke chapter 16, verse 9.
The book of Luke, chapter 16 and verse 9.
Yep.
And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when you fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitation.
So it says, make you friends of the mammon. So how you going to make friends of the other nations, but God is telling you that he hate them? Right? Then you read a song to say perfect hatred. Like, how you going to do both? How you going to make friends of these people, but yet hate them at the same time? plot thickens. Let's go to this. Let's go to Sirach. Book of Sirach, chapter 12. We'll start at verse 10, please.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10.
Yeah.
Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Yes.
Though he humble himself.
You see that? Though you have made friends of some of them, right? Because again, that friendship, right, is strictly business orientated, right? It's a limit to that thing. You can't be out there like just letting your guard all the way down. That's not what he's saying. He told you got to make you friends of the unrighteous, of the mammon. You got to make you friends of them. How do you do that and then control your hatreds? How do you find that perfect balance, that harmony in that thing? Read that thing again, start at 12 and 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10.
Yes.
Never trust thy enemy,
Yes.
for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So he say never trust them, right? So that means when you in that work environment, right, you make sure that you abide by the policies. You make sure that you know the policies better than they know them. So you can be secure in how you dealing with these people. But you don't have to go to work and let your emotions run out in front of you. You know what I'm saying? It say make you friends of the unrighteous. So how do I make friends as well as maintain my perfect level of hate? How do I do that? Come on.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
So that part of that, having that friends of the unrighteous, right? Part of that perfect hatred is being aware of that person, right? You got to be aware of those other nations at work, right? You shouldn't be at work doing stuff you're not supposed to do, right? If you know you're not supposed to get off till whatever time, don't be sneaking out a little early because you think they your friend. Yeah, you sneak out a little early, you come back to work the next day, got a pink slip, and you wonder why. I thought we was friends. I thought we was brothers. No. No, beware of him. Come on, read that again.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
So again, let's see, at my job, right, I'm in charge, right? I'm the boss, right? But I got a lot of other nations that work for me. So what happens, right? I got to be more mindful of the policies than they are. I got to be more on point than they are. Because I know with any slip up, anything I do wrong, they waiting to go tell it. You know what I'm saying? They waiting to go tell the bosses above me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he ain't do this, that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man. I gotta be laserly focused. I gotta be at my desk on time, early. You know what I'm saying? For everybody, I'm at my desk, like sitting there. You know what I'm saying? When everybody leave, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Cause I don't want my level of responsibility to be diminished because I want to act like a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I gotta set the standard. But a lot of times, like I said, y'all brothers, y'all sisters, y'all go to work, y'all move throughout life, whatever it might be, and y'all feel like, since y'all the Israelites, right, it's only a certain level that I got to do for this nation. Nah, man. Let's go to that. Go to Deuteronomy. We'll come right back. What's the one? Deuteronomy. Is it 4? I thought it was 7. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. No, start at 5.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 5.
Yep.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Yes.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
A great, wise, and understanding people. That's what you're supposed to be in your work environment. That's who you're supposed to be in whatever other environments. I know I keep going back to work, but whatever different environments you move through throughout the day, they supposed to look at you and say, this is a great and wise and understanding people. You know what I'm saying? You see the mission of the company, and you're able to help execute your office to help the company grow. You're not in there being a bad team player because you know you're an Israelite and you just want to sit in your corner at work and just be, I don't know, man, unapproachable. Go ahead.
Antisocial.
Right?
At the end of the day, what it comes down to is if you're not a culture fit, you out of there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? At my job, they make that very apparent, right?
Yes.
If you and again, our culture is different from every other culture, right?
Yes.
So you have to figure out a way to fit in, right? And stand out.
Yep.
This is what it is, right? And by keeping and doing the commandments, you're gonna fit in and you're gonna stand out in many ways.
In many ways. Man, read that scripture again.
Starting verse 5?
No. Verse 6.
Verse 6.
Yes.
Keep therefore and do them.
Yes.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
So keep the commandments and do them. In your work environment, you should be keeping the commandments and doing them. You should be like, you know what, I hate these other nations. When you go in the break room, you're still in their coffees. You know what I'm saying? I hate these other nations. You go in the break room, you reaching in their lunch bag and taking their chips out. I'm going to show them how I hate them. I'm going to take his chips. I'm going to get my get back. That don't even make sense, man. You think you can get back by taking some macaroni salad out the refrigerator?
I'm cut, Captain. I took the plate. The utensils. I go in there and take the fork. But I replace them, though.
I replace them. All right, man. Get it together, man. Buy the forks for the lunchroom, man. Come on, man. Get it together. You supposed to be a wise. Oh, dang. Bring it out, man. Read verse 6 again, man.
Keep therefore and do them.
Yes.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
So keep therefore and do them, right? Don't be slack at work, right? Don't be person that's always late. Don't be what's the other word, man? I don't know. Just creating a toxic work environment. A lot of times, that's what I'm saying. It's not literally something that you physically may do. It's just the attitude in which you bring to the table. A lot of times, that's what just destroys it, and then you can't understand what you did wrong because you know you didn't really do nothing wrong, but yet you just never really got in the right zone. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
People can tell when you're not engaged with something, right? Or you don't want to be there, or you don't care about what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
So then they don't come to you when they need something done.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm not going to go to the person who don't care about nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why would I go ask him to do something or to become a manager or to raise up? They're not going to come to you.
You got to know the philosophy. You got to know the philosophy of the business, the philosophy of the company. You got to understand what your job description is, and you got to execute that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then part of that job description, which most of them are, is being a team player. You got to understand that that's part of your job description. Read on.
For what nation is there so great, who have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things?
And what? Read that again.
As the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for.
So he is in all things. So in that work environment, the Lord is there. He taking note of you being a horrible example. And a lot of times, I'm going to say this too, man. A lot of times people think, right, I can be an Israelite on the Sabbath and I can be like super doing everything I'm supposed to do. And then when I go deal with whatever else I'm dealing with, I can just be a nigga. Like, no, like you got to understand who you are is going to transfer between both levels. Right. It's going to be the same. If you going to be one way. Right. You know what I'm saying? Who I am as a person is not specifically for what I do on the Sabbath. I'm the same way when I go do my worldly job. I am on time. I try to be organized. I try to be consistent. I try to be the go-to guy. Like, that's what I literally try to do. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to my rib about it last night. It's like, you got to find that balance in between doing work and then having the proper amount of, what's the word? Like perception where people see you. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I don't know what else to call it, like FaceTime or credit, where your bosses know that you're doing your job. That's important too, because a lot of times we like to go to work, just do our job and sit in the corner. I did my job. But if they don't know you doing it, if you're not over communicating, then it don't help you. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same way in the truth. We come in the truth and we be like, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. But yet nobody know you're doing it. You're not over communicating. Right? Go ahead.
It's I always say it's two types of people in the workplace.
Yep.
There's one who do everything, right? And then there's one who do a little and tell everybody.
Yep.
Right? That person who do a little and tell everybody is the one who get promoted.
Yeah.
The one that's doing the work never get promoted. So what Cam telling you is there's a balance, because the Lord said we got to actually put in work.
We got to put in the work.
So we're supposed to actually do the work.
Yep.
But we also have to communicate.
And
when you go to work, it be that person that don't do nothing.
Yep.
But they in the boss face, he be like, damn. How you get
brown nose?
Yeah, exactly. But
I'm not telling you to do that.
Right.
But I'm telling you, got to find the right balance. Don't go to work and just be in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. Again, I'm not trying to make it solely about work. What time I got? Goodness. All right, let's go. What we was just reading. Go back to Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. I have to hear you.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10.
Yes.
Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Yes.
Set him not by thee,
lest
when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
So at the last, you'll remember the words. You'll remember like, dang, I wasn't supposed to let him that far in. Right? You got to find that balance. You got to say, you know what? I got to be a good team player. But at the same time, I can't let them all the way in, because they will overthrow me. They will take what little bit I have in my job, what little bit of responsibility I have, what little bit of control I have. They'll take that away from me if I just let them all the way into everything. Let's go back. Let's go to Psalms again, Psalms 139. Let's start at verse 13 this time. Got to read through this kind of quick.
The book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse
13. Yeah, speak up.
For thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb.
So that scripture right there, man, it says, thou hast possessed my reins. God is supposed to be in control of everything you do. When you look at reins, that's what guides the horse, that steers the horse, right? So the reins that are supposed to steer us in our perfect hatred is supposed to be God, not our emotions, not what we think, not how we feel. The reins are supposed to be the commandments of God. Go ahead.
I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee, when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thy eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, then as yet there was none of them.
So it says, thine eyes did see thy substance, yea, being unperfect. So we got to understand our hatred is unperfect. It's unperfect. Why? It says, and in thy book, in the Bible, all my members were written. So we got to be able to go in the Bible and figure out how to get that perfect balance on our hatred. All right, go ahead. Verse 17.
How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God.
Yes.
How great is the sum of them.
So how precious, meaning what? The promises that we're going to receive at the end, we got to think on those things. Not try to take our hatred and that matter of how we feel into our own hands. Go ahead.
If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Yes. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked,
he will what?
Surely thou wilt slay the wicked.
He's going to slay the wicked. It's not your job to go to work and be mad, right? And want to have all these built up emotions in you. It's not your job. He said he will slay the wicked. Go ahead.
Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men,
for
they speak against thee wickedly, and thy enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee.
Yes.
I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies.
So David was able to say, look, I know the Lord got that, right? But I still count them my enemies. That's perfect hatred. Perfect hatred is knowing that the Lord is going to handle his business, but I still got to handle mine. Right? I still got to do what he commanded me to do. That's live in the sight of all men, just and peaceably. That's what he asked me to do. Come on.
Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting.
He said, if it's any wicked way in me, he said, you got to make sure that there's no wicked ways in you. He said, any, making reference to how you deal with work, how you deal with your kids, how you deal with your spouse, right? Is there any wicked way in me? If you're going to work and yet you're not providing things just and fairly, then you wicked. If you're going to work and you're not doing things like if you stealing or lying to people or taking advantage of the system in some form or fashion, you're going to get caught for that thing at some point. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but the Lord says, he said what? And see if there be any wicked way in me. Let's go to this. Let's go to Psalm 7, verse 1 right quick. Psalm 7, verse 1. Go quick.
The book of Psalm, chapter 7 and verse 1.
Yeah.
O Lord my God, in thee do I put my trust.
And who?
In thee do I put my
You
trust.
gotta put your trust over there. Not put the trust in your own personal feelings and your personal emotions. Go ahead.
Save me from all them that persecute me and deliver me.
Yes.
Lest he tear my soul like a lion,
Yes.
rending it in pieces, while there is none to deliver.
It say, lest he is talking about what? Those that persecute me. Lest he tear my soul like a lion, rending it in pieces. Why? Because he done took the matters into his own hands. He want to have the hatred that he got. That ain't enough. The hatred that you got, the feelings that you got, the power that you have is not enough to execute proper judgment. So you got to let it go. Go ahead.
O Lord my God, if I have done this, if there be iniquity in my hands.
See that? If I have done this, if I have taken matters into my own hands, and now I want to use how I feel emotionally to try to guide or manipulate a situation, I'm going and I'm doing things angrily, like you taking it into your own hands. Go ahead.
If I have rewarded evil unto him that was at peace with me, yea, I have delivered him that without cause is my enemy.
Yes.
Let the enemy persecute me, persecute my soul, and take it. Yea, let him tread down my life upon the earth, and lay my honor in the dust. Salah.
Yep.
Arise, O Lord, in thy anger. Lift up thyself because of the rage of my enemies, and await for me to the judgment that thou hast commanded.
So he says, awake for me the judgment that thou hast commanded. He is the one that's going to have that proper judgment. He can fully execute the judgment in which our enemies deserve. We cannot. One more. Read the last one.
So shall the congregation of the people compass thee about. For their sakes, therefore, return thou on high.
For our sakes, he's going to return on high. Let's jump back. Let's jump to Romans again, chapter 9. Yep. Go back to Psalm 7 one more time. I want to make sure I make that point too. Romans 9. Go back to Psalm 7 one more time and read verse 5.
All right, the book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 5.
Yes.
Let the enemy persecute my soul and take it. Yea, let him tread down my life upon the earth and lay my honor in the dust. Salah.
So I'm not telling y'all, brothers and sisters, to go to work and be a floor mat and get walked all over. That's not what I'm telling you. But I am telling you that you ought to understand that is the Lord's job to execute judgment. See, brothers will read that thing and say, well, I'm just supposed to just let them just cuss me out all day at work. No. I'm not telling you that. But I am saying you got to understand what their end is. And if you're dealing with a toxic work environment or something like that, hey, man, get you a lawyer. Let's sue. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if we can get some money out of this thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to Romans 9. Yeah, emotional distress or something going on in there. Romans 9 We at 13.
The book of Romans chapter 9 and verse 13.
Yes.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved.
So we can see love looks like what? The Lord chastising us. Go ahead.
But Esau have I hated.
Okay.
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God?
Nope.
God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
Here it comes.
For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
So hold that. So he said, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, right? So Paul is quoting something. Let's go to it. Exodus chapter 9, verse 16. Paul was the copy and paste champion. You know what I'm saying? He always was pulling a script from here and there and writing it in there, right? So Exodus chapter 9, verse 16. We're going to come right back to Romans.
The book of Exodus chapter 9, verse 13.
16.
Verse 16.
Yep.
And in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth.
You see that? So Paul was just quoting what he read here in Exodus. Go back to Romans 9 again. Watch what he say now. Romans 9, verse 17. Watch what he say.
The book of Romans chapter 9, verse 17.
Yes.
For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee,
Yes.
and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
So he said, look, man, the reason why these other nations are in power, the reason why I hate these other nations is because I'm setting them all the way up. I'm building them all the way up. Why? Just to show you Negroes, you Hispanics, you Native Americans, that I love you. I can't think of no better hatred than that. He raised them all the way up just to make a point to you how serious he is in reference to his love for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give them all this power, then I'm gonna destroy them to show you how much I love you and how much I hate them. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Very much so.
That's how much the Lord loves us and how much he hates. Because you wouldn't build somebody up just to knock them down just for no reason. He doing it so we can see it, so we can look back and say, dang, look at all that power the Lord got. You know what I'm saying? Deacon out there been doing a good job going through beams and coming out his hands and all type of stuff, man. I'm saying all type of X-Men and stuff. I'm like, oh, man, that's crazy. Got Cyclops power in his hands. You know what I'm saying? Read that again.
For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up.
For this same purpose. Why? Because he loved us. He raised them up. Why? So we can see his power. We can see the amount of destruction, the amount of hatred he has towards them. For the same purpose. That's why he raised them up. Why? Go ahead.
That I might show my power in thee.
He can't show his power on us. You know what I'm saying? Because he loves us. So we want to be able to look back and see, eat some popcorn. Ooh, look at that. Dang, he blew that thing up with his eyeball. Man, is that a beam coming out of his left pinky toe? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Man, he did all this so he can show his power. Like they got what they want to do. I don't know if they did it or not. I remember Trump was talking about it though. He wants to do like a military parade. You know what I'm saying? They do those military parades. Why? To show their power. So they can say, look at all our weapons, our bombs, our tanks. That's why he's raising the nations up, so he can show his power. It's like, oh, you got a military parade. All right, I'm going to come down solo dolo and get it in. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show my power. Read it again.
For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Because most Negroes, right, when we tell them that Christ is a black man, right, it don't seem to matter to them. But he's going to make it matter. You got to understand all the power that is directly connected to Christ being a black man. You got to understand the amount of power, the amount of energy, the amount of control, the amount of government influence, the amount of spiritual power. All these things are connected to the Most High Christ. You know what I'm saying? But we don't think that. We think, oh, it's just the Bible. It's no real. He gonna come back and rule with Trump at the White House. That's how niggas think. You know what I'm saying? Like, America just gonna last forever. That's how they think. So he gotta come down and show his power so we can say, oh, shoot. You know what I'm saying? He split the Red Sea. What they gonna think when he split the Pacific Ocean? They'll be like, oh, man, that's power. He done split the whole Pacific Ocean. Yeah, he gonna walk across. Goodness. Let's go to this one more. Give me Titus chapter 3 so I can end this thing. Titus chapter 3, start at verse 1 real quick.
Book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready to every good work.
Read it again.
Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers.
This is our job, right? To put you in mind to be subject to principalities and powers. That means the people that you got to deal with, that's your bosses, your work environment, right? The court system, right? That's encompassing all of these things we have to deal with on this side of the world. That's what it's saying. Read it again.
Put them in mind.
Don't forget, Israel.
To be subject.
To be subject. Go ahead.
To principalities.
Yes, your work environment, the work policies. You got to be subject to those things. Go ahead.
And powers.
And powers, your boss and your boss's bosses. Go ahead.
To obey magistrates.
Magistrates, make a reference to the court systems, the police. Go ahead.
To be ready to every good work.
To be ready for every good work. Come to work, be prepared. Come to the school for the Sabbath, be prepared. Be ready for every good work. Go ahead.
To speak evil of no man.
To do what?
To speak evil of no man.
At work, talking noise about everybody. Now you created because that you done isolated that one Edomite because you got two black friends in there. You know what I'm saying? Now you done isolated that person. Now y'all both fight. You know what I'm saying? Because you hate them. Because you know you're an Israelite. Go ahead, read it again.
To speak evil of no man.
Yes.
To be no brawlers.
To be no brawlers. Go ahead.
But gentle.
Yeah.
Showing all meekness unto all men.
Unto just the Israelites.
Unto all men.
That's how we supposed to do, Israel. We supposed to go and deal in our work environments like this. Deal with life like this. I feel like I just want to talk about work for some reason. But I don't know. Go ahead.
For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish.
I was sometimes foolish. I did the same things.
Disobedient. Deceived. Serving divers lusts and pleasures. Living in malice and envy. Hateful.
What was we?
Hateful.
Yes.
And hating one another.
So we got to get out of that hateful spirit, y'all. We got to get out of that. We got to perfect our hatred. I guess that's the best way to say it, right? We got to perfect our hatred. And our perfect hatred looks like what? Us allowing the Lord and giving him his space to do what he got to do. Give him his space. Let the Lord handle his business, right? Like he said in Romans and Psalm 7. Go back to Psalm 7 one more time. We got to give him his space to execute his judgments. Not try to execute our own judgments. Psalm 7, read that one time. Verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 1.
Yes.
O Lord my God, in thee do I put my trust.
Where do we put the trust of that hatred to fulfill that punishment? In thee. In thee, in the Lord. Go ahead.
In thee do I put my trust. Save me from all them that persecute me and deliver me.
That's what the Lord, you got to get the Lord the space to do his thing. You can't do, he say his garment going to be dipped in blood. Like, let him do his thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You can't. Go back to Titus 3 again.
The book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 1. Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready.
Speak up, speak up.
To be ready to every good work, to speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving divers lusts and pleasures, living in malice and envy.
Living in malice and envy. We live in envy, man. We want to be like them. We want what they got. We want them to be destroyed so we can have what they got. Look, that's not us. This is not our lot. This is not our time to rule. It's not. We got to allow the process to happen. And allowing that process to happen is how you create that perfect hatred. All right, Israel. What time I got, man? I got to get ready to get out of here. You got something else you want to say? I'll give you a second.
Go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. This is what we can't forget. Right, Cat went over Romans 9, right? We read about being in a place of envy. We read about being jealous of our oppressor, right? This is what we gotta remember. Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So the Lord chose us, right? The Lord chose us to be above all the people that are upon the earth. So regardless of the position you currently see them in, it didn't change the fact, right, that he chose us. Malachi tells you, for I'm the Lord your God, I change not. So this still stands, despite the position we see them in, right? Read.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people.
He chose us when we were nothing, right? So even today, we're nothing, right? If you look at us, right, and our mindset, we're on the bottom. We still got to come back up to that place. The Lord still chose us. We got to understand that the Lord's still rocking with us, even though they in those positions. So we can't ever want to be in that position or be envious of them because we see them with status, or we see them with things that we don't have, or we see them doing well at work, right? All these things are things to see if you're going to lean on the Lord or if you're going to lean on how you feel, right? Read the next verse.
But because the Lord loved you.
The Lord loved who?
Because the Lord loved you.
Read.
And because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
So the Lord's going to redeem us from the hand of Pharaoh again, right? That's what Captain showed you. So in your mind, you could never think that the Lord didn't choose you. He still chose you. He didn't change. It's just going through the same process again. Just like we was on the bottom of Egypt when we came out and we were on top, that's going to happen again. The question is, are you going to let your hatred or your anger with being in that position stop you from being chosen by the Lord?
Yeah, because you'll allow that hatred, you'll allow those feelings to cause you to break the commandments of God.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where you got to get to. You got to still, like it saying, read that one more. Romans, 12, I think. Romans 12, verse 10.
The book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 10.
Yep.
Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another.
Yep.
Not slothful in business.
What we supposed to be?
Not slothful in business.
We not supposed to be at work being slothful. That's how we supposed to be. Go ahead.
Fervent in spirit, serving the Lord.
Yes.
Rejoicing in hope.
Yes.
Patient in tribulation. Continuing instant in prayer. Distributing to the necessity of saints. Giving to hospitality. Bless them which persecute you. Bless and curse not. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits.
In your own mind, thinking you know the best way to execute this hatred. Go ahead.
Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Yes.
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves.
Do what?
Avenge not yourselves.
Don't try to take your hatred into your own hands. Go ahead.
But rather give place unto wrath.
You got to give the Lord his space. You got to move the furniture out the way and let him make let him show his power. Give the Lord space for his wrath. Go ahead.
For it is written, vengeance is mine.
Vengeance is who?
Vengeance is mine.
Vengeance belongs to the Lord. It's not to you. Right? Don't allow your hatred, how you feel, to dictate how you operate throughout the world. Come on.
I will repay, saith the Lord.
He got it. He got it. All right, Israel. So with that, we're going to say shalom from San Diego. Throw my email up there for him, man. If anybody got anything for me, hit me up. I don't know what's going on with my email. Lately, it feel like it's just getting away from me, man. Every time I look, I be like, I got 127 emails. Usually, I try to keep them down. How many I got? It's crazy. Man, 156 today. This is crazy. But if anybody got anything for me, feel free to hit me up. If I said something stupid, Lord's will, I'll correct it and I'll see it between now and then. Hopefully, this class was edifying. Anybody got anything for me, man? All the brothers and sisters that said shalom on here, shalom to y'all. All the love and support. We appreciate y'all. Keep supporting the prophets, the Booster Club, all those things, man. Make sure y'all stay in the spirit. Lord's will, we see y'all soon. Shalom, Most High, Christ bless.
Shalom.